Kelty Hearts have produced the shock of the fourth round, and it is the cup holders who exit the competition a lot earlier than they would have wanted to. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and we are here, or should I say I am here, to talk about and round up all the action from the Scottish Cup fourth round. We'll probably talk about in a bit more detail the biggest shock of the round, in my opinion, even though I think you can see it coming. Kelty Hearts at home have defeated the cup holder St Johnstone. They have knocked them out. The reigning champions St Johnstone are gone, and they are having an absolute woeful season, and today it just got made a hell of a lot worse. I just don't really understand it, man. Callum Davidson, he's went from hero to absolute zero in the space of about 7 months. So, unreal. He went for a guy that was talked about potentially getting the Scotland job to a guy that'll be lucky if he can hold on to his St Johnstone job. Unbelievable stuff, guys, but we'll talk more about that in a wee minute. First, I want to cover the games that either happened before today or the early kickoffs. We'll start with Hibs. Played a couple of nights ago, got held by Cove Rangers and got took into extra time. But Cove Rangers, similar to Kelty Hearts, are promised, and I think they're going to go forward. I could see Cove Rangers playing in the Cinch Premiership in a few years' time. That's how good I believe they are. And Kelty Hearts, I think it's only a matter of time before they win their league this season and go up, and I think they'll win again next season. I can see them being in the Championship as well. You look at teams that are progressing nicely in Scottish football, and the two teams that stand out, the two teams that I can see going places in the future, are definitely Cove Rangers and Kelty Hearts. So, not really embarrassing by any means for Hibs to get taken to extra time. They did get the win thanks to Kevin Nisbet. He fired them to the lead, and that's all good for him. So Hibs managed to safely get into the next round. I say safely, it was they barely got into the next round with an extra time winner thanks to Kevin Nisbet. And they've also sold their main man. We made a video now if you want to check out Martin Boyle away for 3 million. So Hibs have made it through to the next round of the Scottish Cup. Another Premiership team that comfortably made it through was Rangers. Last night, after defeating Stirling Albion by 4-0, Laurie came on, got a goal for Rangers. Tavernier with a penalty. Then Tavernier missed a penalty. Cedric Itten made it 3. And then finally, to round off the scoring, it was Fashion Sakala to make it 4. Comfortable win for Rangers, as you would expect. No drama in that game at Ibrox. And today's early kickoff, it was a 5-0 win for Hearts, who beat Auchinleck Tabolt by 5-0. Going away from home here, knowing last year that Hearts were on the receiving end of potentially the biggest cup upset in Scottish football in history, in my opinion. It was always going to be a bit nervy, but Hearts settled the nerves early on, and they never looked back, guys. Comfortable 5-0 victory. A brace for boys, a goal for Andy Halliday, Haring and Cochrane in the 83rd minute. Nathan Atkinson made his debut, so all in all, a good 90 minutes for Hearts as they managed to defeat Auchinleck 5-0. Got one game currently playing live at the moment. We'll just mention the score right now. That is Celtic away to Alloa. They are currently 2-0 up. I do expect Celtic to see that game out now. And it looks like they'll also be joining Rangers, Hearts and Hibs in the next round, as you would expect. But now, let's talk about the 3 o'clock kickoff. So, first off, Aberdeen at home at Pittodrie. Comfortable win for them. 3-0, keeping the clean sheet. That's what Stephen Glass will have wanted to see. Teams like Aberdeen, every year, they should be trying to aim to win a cup, in my opinion, and that puts them into the next round, so they've got a decent chance of doing that. Arbroath with a 3-0 win over Darvel. Big favourites for that match against non-league Darvel. They beat non-league Darvel. Easy win for Arbroath. Sitting pretty in the Championship, and maybe they can have a decent run in the Scottish Cup as well. Their manager, Big Dick, is doing really good for them, so fair play to them. Then we had Ayr losing at home to St Mirren. The Paisley side getting the win there. Good win for them to get through. It's a bit of a tricky tie against Ayr. Ayr doing pretty decent in the Championship, and it was by no means going to be an easy game for St Mirren, but they managed to get through it. We then had Raith Rovers beating Banks OD by 3-0. Big win there. Annan Athletic defeated Clyde Bank in the last kick of the game in extra time. Game finished 2-2. It got taken to extra time. Clyde Bank went in front. Clyde Bank must have thought they were going to pull off the upset, but Annan Athletic, with 2 late goals, especially one in essentially the last kick of the game, got them a win. And I seen images the other week, Clyde fucking Neds, and BBC were reporting it as the lads are here to support Clyde. Nah, the lads are probably there so they can, steal at your granny's house later that night when their team loses. Fuck Clyde Bank, absolute shithole. And if you're fake Clyde Bank, I feel sorry for you. You're not getting an apology, but I will admit I feel sorry for you. So, fuck Clyde Bank. Good job, Annan Athletic, put them out. Happy enough with that. Another Premiership team got through to the next round. Dundee defeated Dumbarton away from home. Dumbarton didn't help their case when they went down to 10 men. But still, Dundee done enough to get the win. Kilmarnock were unlucky. They lost to their former Premiership side, but they lost to current Premiership side, Dundee United, by 2-1. Bit of a tricky tie. Would not have been surprised if Kilmarnock had knocked out Dundee United. It went to extra time and Dundee United managed to get the win, in the following 30 minutes of extra time, but would not have been surprised if Kilmarnock had beat Dundee United, who are struggling massively. I think they've lost the last 5 games in a row, so it's a good win for Dundee United just to try and stop the rot, and at least it keeps them in the cup, and maybe now they can take this momentum onto the Premiership. But they were in desperate need of a win, and they got it today. Livingston defeating Ross County by 1-0. It was a tough one to choose. All Premiership tie, and it's Livingston at home who managed to just narrowly get through. 1-0. Motherwell managed to beat Morton, went into extra time, finished 0-0. Morton actually took the lead. Motherwell then equalised 5 minutes for time with a penalty, and then again another late goal in the 120th minute for Motherwell managed to get them safely into the next round without having to go to penalty. So good win for Motherwell. We had Partick Thistle with 10 men defeating Airdrieonians. The place I grew up, so Airdrie, it's a bit of a shithole as well, guys. It's not as bad as Clyde Bank, but it's no great. And Partick Thistle have eliminated Airdrie from the Scottish Cup. We then had Peterhead defeating East Kilbride in the only match that went to a penalty shootout. So, big up Peterhead beating East Kilbride. East Kilbride, not a great place either, to be fair. But I'm sure neither is Peterhead. Like, most of these places are dumps, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. There is a common, denominator here. All these places are shite. Celtic, as we mentioned, are beating Alloa. And the game that I want to talk about, guys, the main match that I think is the one needs to be addressed here. It is, I could barely say that, man. What the fuck? I know I've got a sore throat, but it shouldn't stop me from talking, basic English, man. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, Kelty Hearts defeated St Johnstone, the cup holders, the Scottish Cup champions. St Johnstone have been eliminated by League 2 Kelty Hearts. Now, I don't want to say League 2 and put them down as if they're just some shite team for League 2, because I don't believe that for a second. I think Kelty Hearts are a decent outfit. They're going to win League 2 comfortably this year, and I expect them to go on and win League 1 next year. I think we'll see Kelty Hearts in the Championship soon enough. Kelty Hearts are a good team, no doubt in my mind. I think they're solid, and they're definitely, they should be higher up than the league they are, but give them time, They've only got promoted to the Scottish Football League, so I think they are a team that's on the rise, no doubt about it. But St Johnstone cannot be happy, guys, with this result. And I say that, obviously they'll not be happy they're out, but it's shocking, man, how bad their season is going. Sitting bottom of the Premier League table. Alright, knocked out the Premier Sports Cup. I think they got to the semis or quarters. I guess they did a decent job in that, but their defence of the Scottish Cup is anything but decent. Got took to extra time after it finished 0-0. And they had some big hitters on the day, man. You had Middleton starting. You had Shifty starting. Even May came on. Kane was on. O'Halloran came on. Craig came on. I mean, this wasn't like St Johnstone Liam Craig, come on, sorry. This wasn't like St Johnstone rested their strongest team and played like a second string team. This was St Johnstone, pretty close to full strength, and they couldn't defeat Kelty Hearts. And Kelty Hearts with a Kyle Higginbottom goal in the 103rd minute of time was enough to give Kelty Heart the win. And honestly, I feel like Callum Davidson is going to come under massive pressure here, because it's not just like they've had, two disappointing, attempts at trying to retain their cups. They're doing horrible in the league, and they don't look like they're going to do any better. You can't really look at St Johnstone this season and say, well, they're just going through a wee bad run of form. They're going to improve. That's not the case, man. They're stuck at the moment. You don't fancy them going into games that they're going to win matches. They haven't really looked good since the Europa League qualifiers, where they actually looked decent, and I felt they were a wee bit hard done by, and I felt like they deserved more against Galatasaray. I thought they could have easily, I thought they could. That Galatasaray game could have went either way. They put up a really good fight against Galatasaray, but I mean, since then, the start to the league wasn't great, and it just hasn't got any better, if we're being honest. And Callum Davidson, I think he would have been sacked. I think if he never done what he done last season was epic, right? And you can't fault that. He deserved to win Manager of the Year over Gerrard, in my opinion. No doubt in my mind he deserved it. But I think that's the only thing keeping him in a job, because this season they have been terrible. And so I think St Johnstone going into this year, a lot of people were tipping St Johnstone to maybe try and push for that third place spot, best of the rest. And I didn't quite think they would be doing that. But I thought St Johnstone would have been top 6. I didn't see how St Johnstone would finish outside the top 6. I thought they were pretty much nailed on. But it hasn't been that way. They definitely ain't going to get top 6. They're going to finish bottom 6. And the big question is now, can St Johnstone somehow manage to avoid relegation? It remains to be seen, guys, but at the moment it's not looking likely, so we'll just have to wait and see. Callum Davidson, he is the current St Johnstone manager, but for how much longer we do not know. Sitting 7 points adrift of 10th place. They are only 2 points adrift of Dundee, but keep in mind, guys, the Dundee 11th place spot is still a playoff relegation battle, so just because you get 11th doesn't mean you're safe, and there is some good teams in the Championship, so the last thing you'd want to be doing is letting it go down to a playoff where you could easily lose a game. So we'll see what happens with St Johnstone. But most of the big guns, guys, made it safely through. The Old Firm teams, Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen, the big boys, as you call it, managed to make it through. 4th place Motherwell in the league managed to make it through. 7th place Dundee United in the league managed to make it through. 8th place Livingston made it through. So did St Mirren. The highest ranked team in the Scottish Football League to get knocked out was actually Ross County in 10th place in the Premiership, but keep in mind they did get knocked out to a team also in the Premiership, Livingston. But there you go, guys, that's your 4th round Scottish Cup roundup. So most of the big boys made it. Obviously, some Premiership teams were going to get eliminated just due to the fact they got drawn against each other. But the shock of the day, the major upset, is definitely Kelty Hearts against St Johnstone. Even though you could see it happening, let's be real, it shouldn't have happened. St Johnstone should have had more than enough to beat Kelty Hearts. They didn't. And it's going to be a long season now for St Johnstone to try and salvage something from this. And it's no looking good, guys. But anyway, that is it. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Share this video if you haven't. Be back later tonight with a Celtic match review and the reaction to the Scottish Cup 5th round draw. So keep your eye out for that. Keep your subscription box pinged open. And I'll catch you later. But until next time, guys, been Fogress. Football. Fuck. Forgot what channel was on. Fog Football, man. Till next time. Peace.